It's NFL Week 3. We are talking with SBR contributor Doug Upstone, doing our usual weekly pair of shows. And last week, Doug Upstone had a very successful week. 4-2, no. 5-1, no. 6-0, a clean sweep on 6 NFL picks from Doug Upstone last week. We'll see how he does this week. Doug Upstone, thanks for being back with us, and congratulations on an awesome week last week.
Thank you, Peter. It's my pleasure. I don't often tote my own horn here too much, so I just, hey, this is just kind of how it goes from time to time. And yeah, you have hot streaks, you have cold streaks, and things as they go along. The one thing, Peter, that I can't understand is that I've seen comments on YouTube. People don't like that I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
I find that hilarious. Somebody has a good attitude. Crucify him. Something's wrong with him. Come on, everybody, lighten up. It's football. You get to watch it. You get to bet it. What's wrong with that?
Listen, there's just a big disconnect. I feel it too. I've done videos with you for years. I still feel it. I'm like, when I think of a successful professional handicapper, I think of someone who doesn't say much, and the little bit that he does say is sort of like foul-mouthed and just foul-tempered and just in a bad mood. So when we hear you talk, you seem like a really nice guy. It's just hard to believe that you are such a successful handicapper, but you've proven it. Long-term, big sample size. We're always interested to hear what your leans are every week. Right now, we're going to hear your opinions on false favorites and top underdogs. What's your first one for us this week, Doug?
We're going to go right with a top underdog, and we're going to take San Diego at Minnesota. Now, last week, San Diego was pushed around and bullied by Cincinnati and gave up 175 yards rushing. So what are the chances they're going to have success going back on the road again to Minnesota, who only had 199 yards rushing against Detroit last week? Well, let's take a look at the situation a little closer. Now, the money flow has been all on Minnesota. It's gone from Minnesota from -1 to -2.5. But that still tells me something in the fact that Minnesota traditionally would be a 3-point home favorite. So the odds makers are still telling us, even with the adjustment, that San Diego's the better team. Now, Phillip Rivers, of course, could be a turnover machine on occasion, but in this case, I think he's the better quarterback over Teddy Bridgewater at both these quarterbacks' point of their careers. When I look at this, I see the San Diego is 8-1 in their last 9 September starts against the spread. And also in the second of 2 road games, if they lost the first one, Peter, they're 4-1 against the spread. San Diego, top dog play outright.
Yeah, I have seen some interesting situational statistics for a game like this where the underdog is less than a field goal. Apparently, that's a very telling line. So you might be onto something there with San Diego. All right, what's your second false favorite or top dog for NFL Week 3?
We're going to come right back with another top dog here, Peter, and it's going to be on the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the Eagles. When we look at this team, they have really played poorly this year. 6 really lousy, 2 losses, but 6 really dull quarters of football that they've played. And the Jets, of course, wow, what a tremendous story already. 2-0, looked really good on offense and defense and are sharp. But, Peter, we know this, the NFL is week to week. And when this occurs, teams will go up and teams will go down. And so now I look at this case, I think Philadelphia, based on all comments and everything that you've read, is going to be a team that is in really need of a victory.
Yeah.
Now, the Jets, you can make a case, are an overachiever. I don't think anybody figured them to be 2-0. And a lot of times, overachievers, they kind of like their success and maybe don't bring it the next game. So when I look at this game, I think you got a contrast of events here, and I think it's a good situation to take an underdog with Philadelphia going into New York, be more focused on the road, and get the job done.
I'll tell you what, Doug Upstone, when I first looked at this game, my thought was obvious, anti-public play bounce-back situation for Philly. But then when I looked into it more, Chip Kelly just kind of ignored the offensive line on his team, and now the result is he doesn't have an offensive line. And I'm just thinking that Philly might have some real problems right now, and they got injuries on defense. So I agree with you. My first thought was bounce-back spot for Philly, but when I looked into it more, I started to get kind of nervous. I'm thinking that Philly might be a team in some serious shit right now with just offensively. They can't do what Chip Kelly wants them to do without an offensive line, without a running game. So I'm not exactly sure what I think about this game. I certainly understand your opinion. All right, what's your third false favorite or top dog for NFL Week 3?
Now we're going to have our first false favorite, Peter, and it's going to be on the Miami Dolphins at home this week. Mm-hmm. Now both Buffalo and Miami suffered desultory losses in week 2. And theoretically, the Dolphins, or Miami, I should say, should have the edge in this game, playing their first home game, while Buffalo leaves the Empire State for the first time this season. But the problem that you have here, if you're making sports bets, is that Miami at home at Sun Life Stadium is flat out pathetic. Now, in the last decade, Peter, just straight up, the Dolphins are 37-42. Now, add in when they become a home favorite, they're 13-30 as home favorite in that same time span. Now, this is a team, Peter, that should have a big edge playing in the heat and humidity down in Miami, but they don't. They've lost it. They used to have it back before 2000, but that's all gone now. And I have one other situational handicapping aspect that makes a lot of sense. When Miami is off a 2-game road trip, their next game, they're 14-30 against the spread, losing by 2.5 points per game. When I look at this game, I'm going to say Miami is a false favorite and Buffalo is going to be your outright winner.
All right. I'm sorry, Doug Upstone, did you say that they're off of desultory losses? Is that what the word you used? Did you say that?
That is exactly the word I used.
Doug Upstone, you are a piece of work. You're a poetic, happy professional handicapper. I don't know, man, chipper and poetic, but your results speak for themselves. Doug Upstone, thanks so much for your thoughts this week. We will catch up with you once again next week. Hope you have another sweep this week.